What's up, everybody? You know who I am. Andre, the Torch Robinson, the Fire Starter, is in the building. Yes. Rise Up Late Night. I said I was going to get on here and talk some sports. I really haven't had much time this week to do sports shows. So on a late night, I'm going to do this one for you. Make sure you like and share. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, NFL stuff, some WNBA. Go on a little scroll patrol to start the show, obviously. And by the way, this show is brought to you by where I'm at right now, which is Ying's. Shout out to Ying's. Every Friday and Saturday night, if you are in the 716 community region, whatever the case may be, come out. It's a fun time from 10 to 4 p.m. I DJ on Saturdays. It's a whole lot of fun, exciting place to be. And, full of positivity and just, great time. So, with that being said, make sure if you are in the 716 community, make sure you stop at Ying's. All right. Shout out to, of course, I got this shirt on. Shout out to the people who made this shirt. Marcus the Alphabets and his company out there in Dallas, Texas. They took care of, the shirt. This Draw You Club, my son's brand shirt. So shout out to them. So the show is also brought to you by Draw You Club, obviously. All right. One more shout out. Shout out to Exquisitely Boutique, Lisa Marie. Shout out to her as well. She's making some phenomenal shirts in the 716 region. If you do not know her, I'm going to leave her information next show. I'm going to put her information on the show on the ticketer. All right. If you in the t-shirts, things of that nature, she makes shirts here in the 716 region. She also made a Draw You Club shirt as well. That looks just as phenomenal as well. All right, now, Scroll Patrol. Let's get to it. I don't know. You guys can tell me about the audio. I know it's a little background in here, little background noise. But you guys can tell me about this stuff.
Was responsible for the Jets' losses. Just listen to what that bald-headed imbecile said about me after the Vikings game.
How would you assess your performance?
Obviously, up and down. The biggest thing that we're going to be able to do, the biggest thing that we talked about going into this game was playing clean ball, and Minnesota had been feasting on pick sixes and putting their offense in position to get easy layups, and unfortunately that pick six was just a big difference in this game.
Can you believe Robert blaming our loss on my interception? When my offensive line let me get hit 11 goddamn times, Robert Saleh is a nobody, and he dared to disrespect Aaron Rodgers.
All right. With that being said, AI made that up. Yo, by the way, AI is crazy. The idea of AI is nuts. But I do want to get into this before I get into the scores from last week's games. This is a big topic right now. Robert Saleh obviously was let go from the New York Jets. Unexpectedly, by the way, let go. Now, there are people who will blame Aaron Rodgers, and I'm hearing it left and right. Well, I think Aaron Rodgers got him fired because Nathaniel Hackett, who can't hack it, is involved, being the offensive coordinator. Now, we all know that the offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, hasn't been able to hack it for the longest of time. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why he got fired. Now, there's other rumors saying that he wore the Lebanese flag while they was over there with the game that they just had against the Vikings. That might be one of the reasons. Politics might be one of the reasons why that he got fired. What I will say is this. Jeff Ulrich, there is rumors that he is the reason why the Jets defense has been so good this year. Again, there's all rumor and speculation. But I can see that if Jeff Ulrich is the guy who's the reason why the Jets defense has been good, then why do you need Robert Saleh, who's giving you a track record that he's been mediocre? Now, there are some people who will also sit up here and say, well, there's people who will say, Robert Saleh got a raw deal. Well, anytime you go to a bad team, you're kind of getting a raw deal. But as the saying goes, leaders lead, right? So I do feel like Robert Saleh somewhat has to take accountability for the mediocre thereof. This is not the first offensive coordinator that the Jets have had. This is like the second one now. And I get it. They'll say, well, Zach Wilson was the quarterback. Well, I mean, again, leaders lead. Zach Wilson, obviously you saw Zach Wilson wasn't the guy, right? At some point you have to make a change. Being the coach, being the GM, or whatever the case may be, having that relationship, you got to make the changes that's best for your team. So I feel like as much as we can say that he might have got the raw deal being the New York Jets coach, I would also say that leaders lead and make teams better. And I would also say that the Jets kind of looked like they were in a trajectory that would say that the Jets may have been getting better. So, again, we can speculate one of three things. It's either the Lebanese flag situation, Aaron Rodgers got him fired, or they wanted to save Nathaniel Hackett. You can say one of the three if you want. I will just say that it would behoove people not to sleep on the Jets yet. Now, the Jets do play the Bills this week, by the way. And I don't know if you guys can really hear me. Hopefully you can. The Jets play the Bills this week. I would not sleep on the Jets. I'm not saying that the Bills couldn't win this game. That's not what I'm saying. But if we look at the Jets' losses, which I will go and look up right now because I can. The Jets lost to the Vikings, 23-17 last week? Close game. Aaron Rodgers threw that interception. That looked like pass interference by Stephon Gilmore, by the way. That wasn't called. I think the refs just wanted to really go home at that time. Drinks to the refs, by the way, this year. They lost by 6 to a team that's undefeated, right? So I look at the rest of the Jets' losses. They're 2-3 right now. The week before, the kicker misses a field goal that would have put them in position to win that game. At the end of the game, they lose to the Broncos 10-9, right? So they're on a 2-game losing streak. And in the beginning of the season, of course, Aaron Rodgers loses to the 49ers. He loses to the 49ers all the time. This is not nothing new. Aaron Rodgers' Achilles heel has always been the San Francisco 49ers, whether it's in the playoffs or not. California, where he's from, has not been friendly to him in his career. He hasn't been able to beat the 49ers. So, not surprised. But if we're sitting here acting like the Jets are like the worst team in the world, I would behoove you again to, if you watch the games, you would know that the offense has struggled, but the defense has been pretty damn good to the point where they've held them in games. Besides the 13-point loss to the 49ers, I would say that there is some room for improvement that can be made and that the Jets could be a better team. Now, I'm talking about the Jets not being able to close games, obviously, the last 2 weeks. The reason why they lost the last 2 weeks, not being able to close, right? Well, next week, they play the Buffalo Bills Monday night in the Meadowlands. And for people who think that the Bills are just going to win this game, it's crazy to me. Because what better way when you got a fresh new start now, you got a brand new interim coach, and your last 2 weeks, your problem has been finishing games, than to play the team who has inconsistently not been able to finish games late, i.e. what we saw last week against the Houston Texans. What better team to play than the Buffalo Bills, right? So, on the radio show, Justice General kind of tried to manipulate me into a bet, saying that I should take the Jets this week. Well, guess what? Not to say that manipulation worked. I will say that I'll play along. I'm taking the Jets this week. So now, for all those people who are going to say, oh, Andre, the Bills guy, blah, 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 that I constantly hear, even though I've been very realistic when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, can now shove it. Wayne, you said watch out for those Jets. Yeah. Don't get it confused or twisted. Nope. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. Yeah, I do too. What better team to make a mockery into than the Buffalo Bills? The Bills better bring it. Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I haven't watched the Buffalo Bills for multiple years, just cough up games that you would be like, hey, why are we losing this football game? Yes, I know that the Buffalo Extreme, shout out to the Buffalo Extreme, by the way, season starts in a couple weeks. We already got the credential for it. I already know. Thank you. Russell K, appreciate that. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the Buffalo side of things. Sean McDermott, once again, leadership is in question. And I'm not going to let them skip over this. I'm not about to let them skip past it. I'm not about to let them try to sweep it under the rug. None of that. I'm not letting them do that because if this was certain other coaches, there would be leadership in question. Oh, is he losing the locker room? This, that, and the third. Now, as you heard on national TV, Sean McDermott said, hey, we only need 10 yards. He screamed it, right? So, Joe Brady, I'm not understanding why in the world did you not do what Sean McDermott told you to do? Well, that's funny because if you check my social media, I've said a couple things that now have kind of fell into foresight fruition. One was when the Bills was 3-0, everybody was on their job. Oh, the Bills, 3-0, blah, 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 MVP talk. Oh, they might. And I'm like, okay. For teams that are 3-0, please do not get too happy too early. It's too early to be trying to get happy about 3-0. Sure enough, Buffalo Bills have taken 2 losses in a row to elite quarterbacks, by the way. C.J. Stroud is elite. Lamar Jackson is MVP. He's elite. 0-2 against elite quarterbacks this year. Kyler Murray is not elite. Okay, I'm going to put that out there. Is he good? Sure. Is he elite? No. And that was week 1. Trevor Lawrence is dumpster juice. Okay, ceiling Kirk Cousins if he actually put some effort into trying to get better. Basement Daniel Jones, which we'll get into later on. He's not a good quarterback either. And then last week, and then when you beat the Dolphins, you beat Skylar Thompson and the bums, the Dolphins tuna can quarterbacks. Straight garbage. Trash. I don't know if the Extreme will be televised this year. I'm going to see. I'm going to find out. But straight dumpster juice. So you're 0-2 against elite quarterbacks. Do not get it twisted that Aaron Rodgers at 40 right now because, it seems like he's struggling on offense, that he can't have one of those games. We already seen one of those games earlier this season where Aaron Rodgers picked it up. What better team to pick it up against when you're going against a Bills defense that is hurt right now? What better team than to pick it up? What better time to pick it up when you're starting fresh with an interim coach? And we've seen this happen multiple times when teams have interim coaches. The team ends up playing harder than usual. So do not sleep. Do not sleep. Perfect opportunity for the Jets to put another L in the Bills column in the Meadowlands when they just got beat last year in the Meadowlands by Zach Wilson. Do not forget that. Please do not forget that. All right? So, again, getting back to Joe Brady, it's kind of funny. Joe Brady, what was the play call of Josh Allen, obviously? I don't want to get into that. Joe Brady, I will tell you right now, comments like that make you complicit to bullshit. Once you are complicit to bullshit, we start looking at you a certain way. i.e., remember last week I put on social media, I said, is Joe Brady starting to catch the Ken Dorsey effect? And people were like, oh no, such and such and such. Oh yes, it seems like it. One, he's cocky, starting to get a little cocky. Two, offense starting to get stagnant. This is funny because we watched the same thing with Ken Dorsey when he started off. He was red hot, yada, yada, yada. And everything was going good until that Green Bay game. And then after that Green Bay game last year, which shout out to Deion Dawkins, I got to see yesterday at my job. Still remembers that game, by the way. It went from sugar to shit real quick. And they got rid of Ken Dorsey. Now, my other question about the Buffalo Bills is, what is their true identity? Are they a run team or are they a passing team? Because this year, to me, seems like they're a run team. It does not seem like they're a passing team this year. So when you're playing the Houston Texans and you got the ball on your own 3-yard line, I'm just not understanding why are you not running the ball? You pass the ball 3 times and you let Robert Woods get 10 yards, and then he completes a 6-yard pass, C.J. Stroud, and then they kick the field goal and then win the game. Again, another one of those moments where you question, okay, here we go again, critical moments, leadership again. Now I feel like, and I'm going to just be real with you, I feel like with that situation that just took place, now you have put Sean McDermott in a situation. Because I'm going to tell you that if Sean McDermott loses to the Jets this week, I would not be surprised if some heads start to roll. Now, mind you, I thought about this on the way here, starting the show. What would be the bigger story? The Bills beating the Jets next week and the Bills going 4-2 and the Jets being 2-4? Or would the bigger story be the Jets beat the Bills, they're both 3-3, the Jets lead the division, Sean McDermott is in trouble? Well, we all know, a lot of us know, that the media is not Buffalo friendly. So what would be the bigger story? And do not get it confused. Like it can't happen. One of the Bills' biggest issues have been stopping the run, right? What do the Jets have? Running backs. Hence, I tell you what, better be careful. Jets defense is still really good. Don't get it twisted or confused. This game will not be a 31-10 Bills blowout. It won't be a 31-10 Jets blowout. This is going to be a very close game, hard-fought AFC East rivalry game in which the team that makes the fewest mistakes is going to win the game. And I don't know how trusting I am of Sean McDermott right now. Or Joe Brady. Or Josh Allen. I get it. Josh Allen hasn't turned over the football. But critical decision making at end of games, it's a problem. Now, moving on. More Scroll Patrol. Let's talk about this guy right here who's just took the NFL by storm. number 2 team in the entire NFC right now, Washington Commanders. They play Baltimore this week. My question to you guys is, for those who will watch this show later, my question to you guys is, if Jaden Daniels beats Baltimore and beats Lamar Jackson, do we now start to inch our way closer to Jaden Daniels not just being the offensive player of the year, which I think he will probably lock up, but do we inch closer to MVP talk? Because a couple things stand out. Number one, when's the last time you heard of a Washington quarterback being in any conversation like that? Number two, secondly, as a rookie quarterback, I think we did CJ Stroud a disservice by not having him in MVP conversation more than we should have last year. I think this year that they'll make up for that. Also, being that Lamar Jackson has a 21 and I think 1 record, I want to say he's 21-1. He has like an Undertaker-like record against the NFC. If Jaden Daniels beats him, I'm sorry, but I have to give respect where respect is due. I don't care if he's a rookie or not. I'm going to start inching him towards that talk of MVP talk. Because at that point, we're talking about the Washington Commanders being 5-1 now. When's the last time the Washington Commanders actually led the division? Been the best NFC East team in the division. When is that? You got to give them credit where credit is due. You got to give this man credit. And that ass whooping that he took against Florida State last year, at LSU in the beginning of the year, he has been red hot since that ass whooping. That ass whooping made him a better competitor. I'm going to be honest with you. And you got to give him credit where credit is due for what he's doing right now in the NFL. Again, talking about these two, we talked about them earlier, Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh. People are like, did you see the push? Remember the push where Aaron Rodgers was like, back up? Again, I tried to explain that on the radio. I thought that was Aaron Rodgers telling them, don't get too excited. This is one game. In which, is he right? Because the Jets are 2-3 right now. Whole lot of old stuff going on. I don't want to talk about any of those slides that I just showed you. Breaking news, Devin White has been released by the Philadelphia Eagles. He hasn't played a game this season yet with the Eagles after he signed a 1-year deal with Philadelphia in the offseason. They decided to release him because he ain't played. Devin White is not a bad linebacker, though. So somebody will go get him because there's definitely teams with personnel issues right now, i.e. Dallas Cowboys. Oh, sorry. Or the New England Patriots. Oh, yeah, I don't know how many people saw this video. The Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills guy was getting into it. You can't hear anything they were saying, but you could tell that it got a little spicy, a little static, got a little active. All right. Power rankings for this week, according to Cody Benjamin. Okay. It's good to see Lamar Jackson bounce back from the 0-2 start that they had to now being ahead of their division at 3-2, tied with Pittsburgh. Remember, I told y'all on social media, all them 3-0 teams that was getting super excited, pump the brakes. And sure enough, Pittsburgh has lost the last 2 games. Buffalo's lost the last 2 games. Tampa Bay has lost. Again, try to tell y'all, don't get too excited. Lamar Jackson is number 1. Joe Burrow is number 2. He's put up crazy numbers, even though his team is 1-4. Brock Purdy, number 3. It's absolutely crazy to me. Absolutely nuts to me. Brock Purdy is not better than Josh Allen. He's not better than Baker Mayfield this year. He's not better than, even though Patrick Mahomes has struggled, his team is 5-0, and that's why Patrick Mahomes is at number 6. He's not better than Jayden Daniels. Sam Darnold is 5-0. CJ Stroud has played very well, 4-1. And Dak Prescott being on this list at number 10 is bogus bullshit. I don't care if you're a Cowboys fan. Cry me a river. I don't give a damn. You're not telling me that Dak Prescott once again is better than Jared Goff again this year. We about to stop this nonsense right now. Please stop this nonsense right now. Jared Goff just put up an 18 for 18, a perfect game, 292 yards. His team is better, has a better record than Dak's team, and we got Dak at number 10, and Jared Goff's not even on the list. This is BS at best. Brock Purdy need to be right down there with Dak Prescott in the 11 to 12 range. There is no way in hell that I'm putting them at number 10. This shit must be by default. I will put Goff on this list. I'm kicking Brock Purdy or Dak off the list. Period. But got a bunch of 5-0 winners, 4-1 winners on the right side, and then you got 1-4, 2-3, 3-2, 3-2, and 3-2 on the left side. And to me, I think it's straight bogus. I would almost start to question now. I'm going to tell you this. Watch this. This is a hot take. And people can get annoyed or whatever the case may be. But by production standpoint, by what you've done with who you have, if CJ Stroud has another good game, I'm gonna start to put CJ Stroud over a couple of these quarterbacks on this left side. That includes Josh Allen too, who he just beat, by the way. That includes Joe Burrow too. We're not gonna sit here and continue to keep playing favoritism. People were like, "Oh, sophomore year, sophomore slump." CJ Stroud has done nothing but just coming to year 2, and they're 4-1. Now, Nico Collins is on IR, so now we get to see what he's going to do without Nico Collins, who was the best receiver in the league, by the way, before he got injured. From a production standpoint. So now we're going to get to see that. But I'm going to start changing some of these rankings. Because we're not going to keep playing the past bias. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to go by what we've done lately. That's right. Hit it with the horn. Swear. Now. All right, what time we got? 12:23. Okay, we're making good time. For those who watch the WNBA, obviously, we watched the New York Liberty eliminate the Las Vegas Aces. Two of the best players in the league right here, Asia Wilson and Rihanna Stewart. And the New York Liberty. Hand clap. Both future Hall of Famers, definitely. Two of the best players at their position. Hard fought series. The New York Liberty looked like they were on vintage from last year, losing to the Aces in the final. And they handled business. By the way, which is going to make me say something that some people are not going to like, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. For those who keep trying to tell me that Caitlin Clark is better than Sabrina Ionescu, I want you to sit down and have several seats. Have several seats. She is not better than Sabrina Ionescu at all. I don't care what allure you want to use. I don't care if you want to use the disingenuous culture that decided to support the WNBA because they needed a racial overtone to do so. By the way, they needed Angel for that to happen. So the whole entire mirage of Caitlin Clark, you can thank Angel Reese for it. And I keep telling y'all this, people this, they want to keep sleeping on it and trying to act like it didn't happen or they don't know what's going on. Well, keep playing pretend And I'll keep showing you in multiple ways on how we know what the truth is. Again, Caitlin Clark brought this disingenuous culture to the league, so we should just put Caitlin Clark over everybody. No, absolutely not. And that's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go by disingenuous BS. Again, if there was no racial overtone, we wouldn't even be talking about Caitlin Clark the way we do. There wouldn't be no conversation about, the WNBA growth because they had nothing to grow off of. They needed a racial overtone to grow off of it. It's just facts. There's proof. I mean, Sabrina been in the league for God knows how long, killing it. Breanna Stewart been in the league for God knows how long, killing it. And guess who's in the finals again for the second year? And guess who's on the couch? By the way, I'm just going to put this out there because I'm going to be real about it. Most people would say, right, that a certain culture is more athletically gifted than the other, right? Than another culture, right? I.e., don't try to act like it's a racist thing because it's not. When y'all literally put out White Men Can't Jump as a movie, right? So let's not act like y'all don't know this. Don't get offended now when y'all put this opinion out yourselves and y'all know it's a fact, right? Well, I'm going to think of it this way, right? Let's see here. Who does Caitlin Clark play with again? Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Nalissa Smith. Yeah, those are people in her starting five, correct? Okay. Now let's look at Sabrina's starting five. Breanna Stewart, Phoebish, Jacquel Jones. Yeah. So my question is, if that's the case, and Caitlin Clark is so much better supposedly than Sabrina, then why is Sabrina in the finals and Caitlin sitting on the couch? Just love to know that. I mean, because basketball is played by players, right? I guess y'all gonna use the coaching excuse as an excuse, right? That's what y'all do. You use the coaching excuse. Okay. Again, I don't want to hear no longer about her being better than Sabrina Ionescu. It's bullshit. She's not, by any stretch of the imagination. Dallas, what's good? Do you think what's going on with the Seattle Seahawks since they lost 2 in a row? They being choke artists. Shout out to Desmond, by the way. That's my godson. I told him the other day about this too. Seattle Seahawks, the minute you want to give them some respect, they start giving you reasons not to respect them. This is what they do. Choke artists. You lost to the New York Giants. I just can't. I can't fathom. Every time we go to try to give them respect, then they lose respect. So I'm gonna disrespect them until they be good, until they're a good team. By the way, they play San Francisco tomorrow at 8:15. This is gonna be hella funny. If they cannot beat San Francisco this go round, I'm gonna disrespect them again next week. 3 losses in a row coming up. I'm gonna disrespect them again. And I'm just being real. Cooper DeJean will be starting as the nickel corner coming up. Over Maddox. The rookie draft pick. Cooper DeJean. Interesting. Can't wait to see this young man play. All right. Now we get to Daniel Jones. Now we get to Daniel Jones. Dan 366 Sports says starting quarterbacks who are objectively worse than Daniel Jones right now. Andy Dalton. No, I disagree. Andy Dalton has actually been pretty decent with that terrible ass Carolina Panthers team for the most part. Bo Nix is just straight doo-doo, dumpster juice. I never liked him at Auburn. Never really liked him in Oregon. Oregon made him look like a star, and he's not. Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew has played for some rough organizations. But at the same token, he got to elevate his standard too. Will Levis, that over condiment using quarterback, I could care less for Will Levis. I think he's straight dumpster juice too. And Jacoby Brissett. Again, do I think he's a bad quarterback? No, I don't think he's the worst quarterback. Do I think he's a good quarterback? No. But I think Daniel Jones is worse than at least two of these quarterbacks that's on that list, at minimum. At minimum. Daniel Jones, to me, is like the drunk uncle in your family. Lamar doesn't like Bills Mafia. This one was funny, too. AI is crazy.
Ever see them crazy ass white folks jumping tables before games? Those idiots think Josh Allen is Jesus Christ or something. But we embarrassed his bum ass tonight. Easy win for the Ravens. See you guys next week. Man, fuck this Bills Mafia. They are a bunch of alcoholics, man. Do you ever see them crazy ass white folks jumping through tables before games?
AI is nuts. I tell you, AI be coming up with some of the craziest stuff to say. But, I mean, they demolished the Bills 35-10. Gave them the worst loss that they've had in years. I think it was 43, 44 regular season games that the Bills hadn't lost by more than 6 points. And Baltimore just demolished it. Another thought right here. We'll talk about this more as the week progresses. The NFC North, the only division where every team is above 500. I told Tavon this before. I told him this just the other night. For those that's getting excited about being 3-2 and leading the division, if you are in a real division where the competition has stiffened, you'd be in last place, legitimately. Okay? You'd be in last place. It's the only division that has every team above 500 this year. The NFC North. Okay? Pay attention. And Jared Goff's not on the list of top 10. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. But you put Sam Darnold on the list. Hilarious. How many people would think Sam Darnold is better than Jared Goff right now? Unreal. Stupidity at its best. Now, Steelers wide receivers, behavioral issues. Man, they all got behavioral issues. Everybody, they be buzzing. The terrible towels be buzzing when it comes to wide receivers. Mike Tomlin has to deal with a hell of a lot when it comes to these receivers. Martavius Bryant traded in 2018. Antonio Brown traded in 2019. Claypool traded in 2022, and then the Bills got rid of him too because he got injured. Deontay Johnson traded in 2024, and now George Pickens snaps is limited. Youch. Youch. Pittsburgh got a hell of a defense, though. I give them respect. They should have finished off Dallas last weekend. My heart goes out to you, Ramona, that y'all let them bum-ass Cowboys off the hook. And yes, I said bum ass Cowboys. I do not like the Cowboys. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of them. Juju. Speaking of Juju Bun, Juju Watkins signed a multi-year contract with Nike. Gives her one of the richest shoe endorsement deals in women's basketball. Now, if y'all tell me when she gets to the WNBA that Juju Watkins is not marketable, I will literally cuss out any and everybody who says it on a show. I will literally cuss you out. She is even more marketable than Caitlin Clark for multiple reasons. And you guys ain't gonna like what I got to say, but too bad. Number one, her competition way stiffer than Caitlin Clark's competition. By the way, she made the Elite Eight as a rookie. The Elite Eight. And scored the most points in a single season last year, by the way. It wasn't Caitlin Clark who scored the most points last year in a single season. It was Juju Watkins. And she plays at USC. Yeah, totally different animal from the Iowa Hawkeyes, by the way. Okay? Totally different animal. All right? So if y'all try to tell me, what up, Eric Manzuck? I see you, my guy. Y'all try to tell me Juju not more marketable, you're crazy. She's phenomenally pretty. Very pretty. Can play basketball. Has a complete game that Caitlin Clark doesn't have. And obviously, Nike sees the same thing because they just gave her this crazy NIL deal, and she's only a sophomore in college. If the people who say she's a little erratic, okay, sir. She'll smoke your boots. That's all I'm going to tell you. She'll smoke your boots in the basketball game, erratic or not. I mean, ain't no English grammar that can correct that. That L. I don't know how many ways you could say lose, lost, got your ass whooped in English. And I wanted to see USC versus Iowa last year. Too bad we got UConn in Iowa last year because UConn beat USC. Paige Beckers is nice too, by the way. All right. Easiest remaining schedules. Funny how the Buffalo Bills had the 7th hardest schedule and now they have the easiest remaining schedule. Funny how the tables have turned based on winning percentages for the rest of the remainder opponents. The Buffalo Bills literally have the Patriots twice, the Jets twice, Miami, the Colts, the Titans, the Rams. They did not put on here that they play the 49ers or the Kansas City Chiefs or the Detroit Lions. They didn't put those on there. They should have, but they didn't. Coming up. Or the Seahawks. Okay? They should have added those. The Dolphins. I don't care. The Dolphins ain't beating nobody, hardly. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins win like 4 games all year. Be honest. Let's be real about it. The Patriots, same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win 4 games this year. The Eagles, you better watch out. They got the easier schedule coming up. All I'm going to say is Washington will have to continue to be red hot if they want to win the division. Dallas is to me is a Katy Perry hot and cold rendition. Okay. And the Jets, hopefully the Jets can fix what they got to fix. If not, then they'll be missing the playoffs too. Because I only think one AFC East team is going to the playoffs this year. I think it's only one. And you got to win the division to do that. We all know about how the Raiders kill wide receiver careers. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams. Add Jordy Nelson to that list too, that they didn't add. All right. Oh yeah, opening weekend coming up. Buffalo Extreme. This is what we was talking about earlier in the beginning of the show. By the way, tomorrow is the Buffalo Sabres home opener too. I will be there live from KeyBank Center tomorrow night for that game. I will be there. All right, it's 12:40. Good. We making good time. Good. We are into the first hour, and that's good because I'm gonna be done in just a few minutes. Promise. I got to get to work in the morning. All right. So let's read scores from last week in the NFL. Atlanta Falcons 36, Buccaneers 30 last Thursday. Kirk Cousins threw for 509 yards against the Buccaneers. Hits the rookie Hodge with the game-winning touchdown pass. People was wondering what's going on with the Falcons, and the Falcons just corrected what they had to. Vikings stay undefeated as they beat the Jets 23-17 on Aaron Rodgers' interception late, which I still will tell you should have been a pass interference on Stephon Gilmore. But he also did throw a pick six in the game against the Vikings. So Aaron got to get it together too. Bears 36, Panthers 10. Bengals could have had this game won and they blew it. They choked it up and let Derrick Henry run all over them in overtime, in which the Ravens took advantage of that and won 41-38 in Cincinnati. Dolphins 15-10 over the Patriots. Two garbage teams. The Dolphins made so many mistakes against the New England Patriots, but yet the Patriots still made more mistakes than Miami in the home loss to the Doodle Dolphins, which just because they're 2-3 doesn't mean that they're actually that good. I don't think they're actually that good. By the way, shout out to Cabela's Bass Pro. Shout out to them. Goldberg versus Gunther planned. I hope not. Anyway. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a hell of a series. The Dodgers versus the Padres. Hell of a series. Ohtani not playing no games. They was mad about getting beat the night before to the Padres, where Tatis, Machado, and them went 8 with 6 runs in the inning. By the way, getting back to NFL scores. Commanders 34, Browns 13. Commanders have won 4 in a row. Jaguars finally get on the winning track after losing 4 games. Trevor Lawrence is still straight dumpster juice, straight buns, straight garbage, straight ass cheeks. I don't give a damn. They won 37-34. Colts gave away that one. Lawrence wins on his birthday. How nice. Hopefully, we won't have to watch him win any more games. Yes. Eric Manzuck said going back to Los Angeles for Game 5. Sure enough. Absolutely, they're going back for Game 5. Speaking of which, you also saw the New York Yankees win 3-2 as well. The Mets look pretty good too. New York stand up right now. Liberty, Mets, and Yankees looking all good right now in the playoffs. All right. Again, the Texans 23-20 over the Bills. We already know. 59-yard field goal as time expired. Put the Bills out of their misery. Texans 3-0, undefeated at home this year. 4-1 overall. Broncos 34-18 over the Raiders. Surtain's 2 interceptions. Give the Broncos another W in the column. They've won 2 in a row now, and they snapped an 8-game skid against the Raiders. By the way, shout out to my brother Jay Andre Kincaid. It's his birthday today. Shout out to him. Happy birthday, my guy. Cardinals 24-23 over the 49ers. 49ers struggling. Kyler Murray started off the day with a 50-yard touchdown run. In that one. Packers 24-19 over the Rams. What up, Eric Manzuck? What's up, Eric? Packers dealt your team another loss. Your team is 1-4 this year. What's going on with the Rams this year? Giants win 29-20 over the Seahawks. Seahawks tried to tie the game. Got their field goal blocked. And took it back for a touchdown. Embarrassing in Seattle. I tell you, Seattle, oof. Boy, oh boy. Cowboys squeaked away with a 20-17 win over the Steelers. Dak Prescott's touchdown throw to Tolbert with 20 seconds left on a 4th down gives the Cowboys the win over the Steelers. I was so upset when I saw it. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. Chiefs 26-13 over the Saints. The Saints, after looking good the first 2 weeks, have dropped 3 in a row. Not looking so good for the Saints, huh? And people was all excited. And I said the Saints was going to be a bottom 5 team this year. They may not be bottom 5, but they're a losing team now. Now, with that being said, those are your scores from last week. Obviously, we got this week coming up. I'm going to do my picks right now. We're going to do this right now before I depart, before I leave y'all on this lovely Rise Up Late Night show, by the way. 49ers, Seahawks. I'm taking the 49ers. For some reason, the Seahawks don't beat the 49ers. I don't care if it's in Seattle. They coughed it up last week in Seattle. I expect them to do the same this week. Let's see who's injured on the injury list. Maybe we can see what's going on with that, because that'll determine whether I go the other way with the Seahawks or not. Ooh-wee. I can stop sharing. Samantha Irvin is phenomenally fine. Whatever. Anyway. Let's see here. Three and a half. Match predictor has the 49ers winning 62%. Brock Purdy, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,374 yards. Geno Smith has more yards than him and has just the same amount of interceptions and damn near the same amount of touchdowns. But Brock Purdy somehow is on this list of top 10, and Geno Smith is not. Weird. Hella weird, by the way. And I will say this once again. Brock Purdy should not be on the list. Period. Get him out of here. Now, Mason has 536 yards in 5 games. I will give him a lot of respect and credit. Ward and Conley are questionable. Jordan Elliott is out. We already know Tafunga is out on IR. He won't be back till probably November 17th. Files is out this week. Now, questionable for the Seahawks. Hall and Julian Love, all questionable. Byron Murphy II is out. Reek Wooten is out on defense. I'm taking the 49ers. 49ers is another team. If you look at their losses, all their losses this year have been by a field goal or less than a touchdown. And their 2 wins is against AFC East teams. I'm gonna go with the 49ers this week. Tomorrow. All right, let's see who else we got. And I got 9 minutes to finish this. Jaguars, Bears. I'm going with the Bears. I think the Jaguars are going to, even though they're in London, you know the Jaguars love to play in London. That's their home field. They love playing. Maybe they should move to London. They'd be a better team. I don't care for Trevor Lawrence. He's trash. Buns, dumpster juice. Caleb Williams hasn't been much better either. But I do believe that the Bears are a better team right now at this point in time. So I'm taking the Bears. Cardinals, Packers. I'm taking the Packers. It's in Lambeau. Colts, Titans. I'm going to take the Colts. Maybe they'll rebound from letting the Jaguars beat them last week. The Colts. I'm taking the Colts. I think Will Levis will be on the bench overusing mayonnaise once again somehow. Texans, Patriots. I'm taking the Texans this week, even though Nico Collins is on IR. It's going to be an interesting game coming up. The Patriots haven't won a home game yet either, and I don't think it'll be against the Texans. Buccaneers, Saints. I'm taking – that's tough. It's tough. The Saints have to bounce back. They're at home. I'm taking the Saints this week over the Buccaneers. As much as the Buccaneers have been pretty decent for the most part. Both teams are on losing streaks. Somebody got to break the losing streak. I'm going to take the Saints this week at home. Browns, Eagles, that's a no-brainer. I'm taking the Eagles this week. Ravens, Commanders. Ooh-wee. This right here is the game of the week. Right here. As I stated earlier, if Jalen Daniels goes to Baltimore and beats Lamar Jackson, I think it is once again time to put Jalen Daniels in a conversation for MVP this year. Just gonna be honest. Chargers, Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. The Broncos have a better defense. Elite defense, by the way. Steelers, Raiders. I'm going with the Steelers this week. Lions, Cowboys. This is another game of the week. I'm going with the Detroit Lions because I want Jared Goff once and for all to show Dak Prescott that he is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. I am done with the Dak Prescott bullshit allure because he plays for America's team. I could give less than a fuck. I could give one singular fuck about him playing for the Dallas Cowboys. He is not better than Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been better than him last year, and this year. And for some reason, Dak Prescott was like in the conversation for MVP last year. Again, they're the type of team that you be like, oh, they're good, but you don't get a vacation. You need to continue to keep practicing and all that stuff. You don't get a vacation. That's the Dallas Cowboys. They always are good for disappointment. And I don't give a damn if they beat the Lions 6 times in a row, the last 6 times in a row. I don't give a shit. That streak ends this week when Jared Goff goes into Dallas and exploits exactly Dallas's weaknesses, which is, well, Dallas can't really run defend at all. They have no running game whatsoever. So now you got to throw against that secondary. And then on top of that, Jared Goff is going to throw against your secondary because he doesn't give a shit. I just think that this game is probably like a 30-17 beat up. The Lions will beat up the Cowboys this week just to prove a point. Don't think that the Lions don't know that they lost 6 in a row to them. Falcons, Panthers. I'm going with the Falcons. The Falcons have been a better job since the Kansas City Chiefs lost. You know, the Falcons could easily be 4-1 right now. I'm going to go with the Falcons. I'm going to fly high this week. And I'm going to go with the Falcons over the lowless Panthers. Trash. All right. And then the Sunday night football game. I don't even know why this is a Sunday night game. This is terrible. You got the Bengals and the damn Giants. Now, I'll tell you what. If the Bengals get beat this week by the Giants, I'm going to start asking about their head coach. Because at some point, he got to get some ownership, too. They missed the playoffs last year. I don't care if Joe Burrow was, first of all, before Joe Burrow got injured last year, they were a losing team, folks. The Bengals was 4-5 before Joe Burrow got injured. So I don't want to hear the excuse, oh, Joe Burrow got injured, and that's why they didn't make the playoffs last year. No, sir. This year, Joe Burrow has played all 5 games. They're 1-4. I don't want to hear it. At some point, somebody going to have to take some accountability for the dismal performances that you've seen from the Cincinnati Bengals. And if they lose to the Giants, remember, we get into this is week 6. This is where things get very tricky. This is where you start making decisions on who should get fired, who should we trade, who should we go acquire, yada, yada, yada. Bengals, don't lose to the Giants this week. Jets, Bills. I already told you who I'm taking this week. I'm taking the Jets this week. I'm going to take the Jets just so I could get a good smell of that pizza that Justice General going to owe me again, since he wanted to try to bait me into this. I would have said originally, I probably would have said the Bills will win this game by a field goal, but I'm going to go a different route, and I'm going to say the Jets going to win by a field goal. Two teams that are very empty on offense. Very empty on offense. Now, there's that. And with that being said, it's been real, it's been fun, and I'm the hell up out of here. See y'all next time.